I'm the host of In Her Words podcast. I have a YouTube channel and I also have a TikTok account, and I share a lot of my life testimony with others in the hopes of encouraging you in case you've been through trauma or heartache, abandonment, anything like that, honestly. And again, I was speaking with my girlfriend yesterday, and we were talking about someone who's in her life and in my life who tend to be a little difficult at times. And we feel like we spend so much time trying to convince them of what I call the 1+1 rule. And that is when you are spending a lot of time trying to convince someone of something and they are just not getting it. Or if you explain to them, and I'll use it as an example of 1+1=2, and you're sitting here trying to convince this person just the logic behind what you're saying. And you know 1+1=2, right? But when you're speaking to them, they're telling you, no, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that equals 1,000,000. And that's just like kind of like maybe a strange, but an example when you're dealing with someone who maybe isn't emotionally well, mentally well. Maybe they're just in a bad spot in life, or they just don't want to hear what you have to say. And I don't know about you, I don't know who's watching this with me tonight, but coming from a woman like myself, I always want to care for other people, and I want to try to help other people. And if they come to me with something, I always try to give the best advice that I can, right? But sometimes with certain type of people in our lives, they are just not either able or willing to get what we're saying. So with the best of intentions, I'll read this a little bit. We can spend so much time and energy trying to explain truth to people we love or that we are in relationship with. Like I was saying, you sit there thinking this makes perfect sense. It's simple, 1+1=2. But no matter how many ways you try to explain this to that person, they insist that it doesn't equal 2. You rack your brain and you try your best to re-explain this to that person, and maybe if you explain it in a different way, they'll understand. And they are just not, or they're not willing to get it. Maybe they can't, or they're unwilling. And that cycle is exhausting. So I'm talking about toxic relationships right now. I'm talking about maybe even a relationship that was once really great, and all of a sudden, you can notice there have been some changes and you don't know how to communicate with this person. And I can only tell you from the amount of therapy that I've been through and the amount of difficult relationships that I've been in, I have walked down this path before, and it can be so daunting. Because when you love somebody, right, you want to try to help them. So I believe myself that the enemy would just love for you to stay wrapped up